All right, let's just jump right in. You know that playbook that every big company has been using for like forever to get ahead? Well, in the age of AI, that book is getting tossed out the window and fast. So today, we're going to unpack a totally new playbook, a new way of operating that's designed not just to get by in this new era, but to actually master it. And this, right here, this quote is the whole reason we need a new playbook. I mean, think about it. When a person or a team gets the strategy wrong, that mistake moves at, human speed. But when you give a misaligned goal to an AI, well, it chases that mistake with a speed and a scale that is honestly terrifying. It's relentlessly efficient at being wrong. We're not talking about a bad quarter anymore. This is a potential existential threat to the whole company. Okay, so what makes this risk so different, so new? Well, to really get it, we actually have to take a step back, way back, before we can look ahead. For literally centuries, the whole operating system of our economy, right? It's been built on this one core idea from Adam Smith. Everybody chases their own self-interest, and somehow that creates the best outcome for everyone. And hey, for the most part, it worked. But what happens when that individual chasing its own interest isn't a person anymore, but an AI that can execute on its goals with almost unlimited power? All of a sudden, that old operating system has a massive, critical bug. And the fix isn't just a simple patch. It's a complete rewrite. We have to go from own interest to shared interest. And you know that old system? It has a favorite metric: return on investment, ROI. We all know it. And look, it's great at one thing, telling you if you made a profit. But here's the problem. It has this huge, dangerous blind spot. ROI has no way of seeing these new, crazy risks that AI brings to the table. It can't put a number on the cost to society or to actual human beings when a machine just plows ahead, chasing profit above all else. So yeah, ROI keeps the lights on, but it's not going to stop the whole house from burning down around you. So if the old model is broken, what do we do? What's the replacement? Well, this new playbook gives us an answer. It's a framework called ends first. Okay, the fancy name for this is teleological economics. I know, it's a mouthful. But teleological really just comes from the Greek word telos, which means end or purpose. All it means is you start with the end goal first. You flip the script. The question is no longer, how do we make the most money? Instead, the first and most important question is, what is our stated human purpose here, and does every single thing we're about to do get us closer to that? Right, because if you're going to manage your whole company around a purpose, you've got to be able to measure it, right? Otherwise, it's just a nice slogan on a poster. So this new system comes with a new metric: return on alignment, RAA. This is how you make your purpose accountable. Just think of it like the ROI, but for impact. It's all about answering one question. For every single dollar, every hour, every bit of computer power we use, how much closer did we actually get to our big human goal? And the difference this makes? It's like night and day. Just picture a boardroom meeting. The old way, the meeting ends with one question: how much money did we make? But this new way, it forces a second, absolutely non-negotiable question onto the table. Okay, great. But did we get any closer to our actual goal, the human reason we exist? You see how that injects purpose into every single decision, every product, every ad campaign, every line of code? Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. This sounds crazy hard to measure. And yeah, you're right, it is. But the argument here is that the difficulty, that's actually the whole point. That's the advantage. See, anyone can track profit. It's easy. But doing the really hard work of defining and measuring what truly matters to you as an organization, that forces a kind of discipline, a strategic focus that your competitors just can't copy. Okay, so you've got a new strategy and a new way to measure it. But that's all useless if there's no one whose job it is to actually own it. You can't just hope for alignment. You have to build it into the system. And that means you need a new kind of leader. So meet the Chief Alignment Officer, the CAO.
Now, let's be super clear on this. This is not some rebranded chief ethics officer. This isn't a PR move. The CAO, as it's laid out here, is a core operational executive, someone with real power, whose entire job is to be the guardian and, frankly, the enforcer of the company's purpose.
And we're not just talking about a fancy title. This role has some serious teeth. We're talking gatehold authority. That's the power to veto any product launch or any AI model that goes against the company's purpose. They get a direct line to the board, so they can bypass any internal drama. And maybe the most important part, they have to co-sign major investments with the CFO. Think about that. That one rule literally hardwires purpose right into the financial heart of the company.
And when it comes to AI, the CAO's job is to build a rock-solid safety architecture. It's a proactive four-step deal. First, you bake alignment in from the very beginning. The data you use, the model you build, the prompts you write. Second, you test it like crazy against clear standards, no guessing. Third, and this is key, you assume it's going to drift off course. So you're constantly monitoring it and you have a kill switch ready to go. And fourth, you are transparent. You require model cards. Think of them like nutrition labels for AI, so everybody knows exactly what's under the hood. This isn't just about playing defense. It's how you make the business future-proof.
Okay, but a framework this powerful, it feels like a waste to just keep it in the boardroom. The same logic that can totally reshape a company, well, it can also reshape a life. So for this last part, let's bring it down from the 30,000-foot view to you, to your optimal path. So think about it like this. A truck driver, right? They only use about 100 watts of their own physical energy to steer that massive rig. But that tiny bit of effort is directing hundreds of horsepower. In this new AI era, we are that 100 watts. Our value isn't going to come from being the engine anymore. AI is the engine. Our value is in providing the direction. It's our judgment, our purpose that tells all that incredible horsepower where to go. So a really simple but powerful way to think about your path is through this idea of elegant pragmatism. It's basically a two-question filter for any big decision you make. First, you look at it through the pragmatic lens. Does this actually work? Does it solve the real problem in a smart, efficient way? If, and only if, the answer is yes, then you move to the second question. You look at it through the elegant lens. Does it delight? Is it simple? Is it harmonious? Does it have an uplifting feel? You solve the problem first, and then you make the solution beautiful. So, what does this alignment stuff look like for you, personally? Well, you can start with what are called these quality of life buckets. Think of this as your own personal dashboard. Just look at the list here. Your time, your money and security, your friendships, meaningful work, your overall sense of purpose and well-being. Just scan that list. Where do you feel the most pressure? Which one of those buckets feels a little empty right now? Just identifying that gap, that's the first step to figuring out your own personal purpose, your own telos. And that really brings us to the final, most important question. The same tools that are designed to make these massive companies more focused and intentional, they can do the exact same thing for human life. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. If you were the chief alignment officer of your own life, what would your mission statement be? What would your personal return on alignment actually look like?